Hey guys, this is GamerCal. Welcome back to Touhou, the Genius of Sapphiros. And last time we basically cleaned out the Garden of the Sun, didn't get nearly as much stuff as I was hoping for, and we also didn't get to show off one of the enemies in here. So, not the greatest of times, admittedly, but this time we have to take on Yuka and totally resolve the incident. Yeah, 100% not hoax. Right. So, the party that we're going to take her on with is Sanai, Manyussa, Notori, Patchouli, and Youmu, with Aya as the commander. Mostly because Aya needs some leveling. Alice would work too. Anybody would work, really. But I feel like Aya is going to need more levels to survive than Alice would. So, that's basically why. And the paparazzi skill is quite good, so yeah. Stat-wise, there's a couple of interesting things to note. One is that I'm using the snake whip for Sanai here instead of something else like the usual knife and stuff. And you might be going, oh, why is that? Well, her snake tree has a skill that I need, but especially because I didn't get enough gear from the stage itself, most notably I didn't get any more sunflower seeds, I can't really afford to make a higher tier whip for her. I don't have any celestial peaches to make tier 2, I can't make tier 3 because I need that sunflower seed for something else, and yeah, I just don't really have enough stuff. So since Sanai's not really going to be doing any damaging attacks this game anyway, I figured why not just go ahead and give her the regular snake whip instead. Otherwise she's basically the same, except she does have poison negation just in case she can't get the skill off that she needs, and earth resistance because, as you would imagine, earth is going to be a pretty important skill to resist in this fight. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so basic stuff there for her. Manyussa's exactly the same as she was during the stage, nothing really too different there. She just has some evasion, some extra magic attack, and a totally inconsequential shield because she can never shield anyway, so that's that. Notori, again, if I had the Celestial Peach, if I had more Sunflower Seeds, then I would actually make her tier 3 gun here, because honestly it's just better. And really I should probably still make it anyway, but I'm looking towards what other gear I would want to make with tier 3 stuff, like Satori's armor. And since I, again, didn't get any sunflower seeds that way, I can't do that just now. I may have to look at getting some for later on, but it's not necessary just now. Pretty sure blindness is not something that can occur here, but just in case, she is blind resistant, and a little bit of extra MP and accuracy to make sure that she doesn't miss too often, and that's really all she needs. For Youmu, she has the Viking shield because of the slash enhance. I don't think it's going to make too big a difference, but it's there anyway. She also has strong resistance to earth, which goes with her physical resistances so that she doesn't take too much damage. And yeah, other than that, just attack buffs, because Yomu's pretty good for attacking. And then Patchouli, as I sort of alluded to before, is going to use the Raising Heart so that she can have more magic attack and cut her MP costs a little bit. The Gaia shield would be nice, but again, not really going to ever come into play because of the unusable shields thing with the Raising Heart. Then she just has the best defense stuff that I can give, and a little bit more speed so that she can keep up with the rest of the party somewhat. Patchouli is the most fragile character I have, so that's why the muscle belt is going on her instead. Because even with that, she still has sort of comparable HP to Manyussa and, Notori over here. Without it, she would only have 83 HP, and that's a little dicey. So, yeah, gonna have that. And then Aya still has the party experience up, the extra bomb, which gives her 3 uses of paparazzi, actually, pretty nice to have, and a melon sword for extra experience. Let's go growth wise next, so we can see that. I don't need half MP cost on the buff skills for this fight, because this fight, as with most boss fights, shouldn't last long enough where I need to cast multiple buffs. So instead of that, I put the 5 points into the snake tree, as alluded to earlier, because I need Serpent Barrier to prevent poison, because poison is pretty nasty, and this fight in particular is the big sort of poison fight ever, so you really don't want to be getting afflicted by this. It could cause a lot of damage otherwise, and Sanai can just flat out negate poison with a field spell, so that's what we're going to do. Otherwise, fairly standard. I've just put the 3 points into Faith instead of the HP on Revival, because I really shouldn't be getting killed in the first place. I'm probably actually going to switch the Revival skill out when we go to the skill set, so yeah. Marissa is still maxed out on magic so that she can potentially multicast, and I had to cut down the laser tree slightly because of lack of points otherwise, so instead she still has the 3 points in Master Spark. Honestly, this isn't anywhere near as useful as it usually would be, so it might actually be a better idea, and I'm probably going to do that here, to place the 3 points into Stardust instead so that she gets cooldowns on that. Just because of the nature of this fight, the way that it's set up, this is probably going to do more. So, yeah. Notori is now entirely focused on her gun tree so that she gets probably the coolest attack she's got, Rage 8, which is really nice. Fortunately, I can't back that up yet with the cooldowns cancel, and that would make it really good, but I can still make it pretty good by having 5 points in the research tree, which will cut down elemental cooldowns. Doesn't normally affect Rage 8, but if you use Elemental Bullet first, then you can make it count for that, so that's going to be good. And then Youmu still maxed out on the katana because crit chance is good, and the last 2 points go to Manyussa because that is the stance we shall be endeavouring to use here. So that's what she has. And then for Patchouli, there's the 1 point into the staff tree because nothing else would work for it. I debated removing the 50% MP and stuff here to go for magic cooldowns -2, but then I kind of got thinking it doesn't really make any difference. The way that this is all set up, it really doesn't make a difference doing that, because her attacks that she'll be using only have a 1 turn cooldown to begin with. She doesn't have the thunder based single target move yet. If she had that, then I would get magic cooldowns -2, so I could use it every turn. But I don't, so there's not really any point. Her spell cards already have a -2 cooldown turn anyway because of the spell card cooldowns. Need to talk a bit slower sometimes. Because of, her advanced spell control at the top of the tree. She already has -2 on that, and I think the spell card I'd be using has a 2 turn cooldown anyway. So yeah, that's basically it. And then for Aya, as per usual, we have actually maxed out her reporting tree now, so +4 bombs is as many as she can get without her armor, so that plus the acute soul gives her 9 bombs. Very nice. And everything else is inconsequential because it's Aya and she doesn't ever do attacking anyway, so yeah, there is that. Skill wise, we have the usual stuff here except for Serpent Barrier instead of one of the, like a 4th buff skill, or usually it'd be my party-wide heal, but I shouldn't need to revive in this fight because I don't think you can get one shot. So we're gonna put the party heal back on there instead. I could put Miracle of Artensui on, but I don't need that much party healing because most of my team doesn't have a lot of HP, so they should get most of it back with this anyway, especially if I have Wind of Prayers on first. But yes, Serpent Barrier is a field spell to prevent poison, and that's the big draw of using it here. Marissa is much the same as usual, except she does have Stardust Reverie so that she can have a column-based electric attack, because of course the opposite of Earth is electric, so that's going to be an important part of this fight. Otherwise, yeah, pretty much standard stuff for Marissa. For Notori, she does have Thunder Chasers, which might come into play because I may end up using this, with Patchouli and Manyussa attacking at the same time. In my practice, I haven't really used this yet, but it could be useful because then you could use AoE attacks and hit, multiple targets with stuff this way, but I think it'll mostly be Element Bullet, Rage 8, and then 0 Kelvin Buster, because this actually does turn into an electric attack when you use Element Bullet. Very nice, so that's that. Youmu, pretty much all that she can run at the moment. I do have her last spell instead of the Law of Calming. I think it's Law of Spirit Calming, the one that it heals your status conditions. I have this instead. Honestly, don't know which one's better. I mean, really, it probably doesn't matter. I think I might just have Spirit Calming on because of debuffs and stuff, and if Yomu's taking the turn to heal herself, then she's not really doing a good job, so yeah. And Patchouli is lightning based, as we said. Oh, it's actually a 3 turn cooldown. It doesn't matter because honestly I'll be alternating between Sylph Horn and Spring Wind anyway, so yeah, this will be a single turn cooldown with my growth tree stuff as it is. So yeah, there are many ways around this boss, but this is what I've decided to go with here. So, sunflowers are indeed in full bloom, and Yuka is looking cute, as every character does in this game, I guess. Yeah, so she's getting bothered by the mist, which is a thing and combo. So, we have Shocked Yuka coming in with Medicine. Yeah, Yuka, we came to visit Medicine and Lily here, so it's a special occasion. Uh-oh, what's happened? What has she done? Yeah, Gensokyo is covered in the mist, and apparently Medicine thinks it's awesome. Okay, so Yuka's like, what? Yeah, she is a strange girl, but then again, Medicine is like inanimate and whatnot, and was sort of brought to life by the power of poison or something, I don't know. And I guess it's because of that she thinks the mist is awesome, because normally Medicine doesn't feel pain, because let's face it, her body's not organic, but she does still have the spirit of a yokai, and if that's getting hurt by the mist, then yeah, she can actually feel the pain, and apparently that's a good thing. Yeah, Medicine is really weird. Oh dear, Yuka. Yuka. So yeah, apparently there'll be a learning experience, and shock horror time. In comes Angry Medicine, and of course, the gang all shows up. So, Youmu and her companions have come up, and that does not look like a particularly good face there. A very good afternoon to you. Yes, you are, Youmu. Yeah, indeed. Alice would recognize Medicine, because Medicine is a doll after all, so yeah. Indeed. So Alice wasn't in Phantasmagoria Flower View, so the connection between these two is kind of weird, isn't it? Doll Liberation Plan? I don't think that's gonna work out somehow. You be quiet! Uh-huh. Oh dear. Yuka is a very, very dangerous person to go around, let's just be honest here. You gotta be a bit more specific than that. Yeah, Yuka doesn't know what you're talking about either. What? Yeah. Uh-huh. And Yuka's just like, oh, why don't they just leave me alone? I mean, would it make sense for Yuka to be behind us? Saying that offhand makes it hard to believe. Yeah, not true actually. Do you have a defense? Yeah. Yuka doesn't care about anything except sunflowers, so that's pretty much her only defense. At least she recognizes the similarity though, but if it's not exactly the same, then yeah. Does she not now? That's interesting to know. That is a good question. Why would you do something silly like that? Well, Satori, tool, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, about that. You can most definitely read Yuka's mind, but yeah, Yuka really doesn't care about anything except flowers. But the sheer fact that we have gone ahead and read her mind doesn't seem to have pleased her very much here. Satori really doesn't get very many friends and stuff here. Yeah. Perhaps indeed. Situation's a bit weird now, I'll say. Yeah. I don't think there's any point in asking Medicine anything, but we're gonna do so anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a poisonous mist, is it? So yeah, what now? We've established that this isn't the right place, so what are we gonna do? I guess we do look somewhere else, but Yuka has other plans. She is a rather dangerous person to be around, after all, and basically she is going to fight us because, yeah. And Medicine's like, hey, I want to join in. So she joins in, and is very happy about it. And that's that. Yeah, Alice might be a doll master, but Medicine isn't exactly the normal sort of doll here. Because Medicine's not exactly under Alice's control. She is her own individual spirit. So far, Alice has only managed to make dolls operate under her own control when she's the one who's made them. With her own magic and stuff. So, yeah. It's not gonna happen. It's a great opportunity. Opportunity for what exactly? They've already said all that they know. But yes, that is more befitting of you. So, and everybody's like, oh god, what are we in? What have we gotten ourselves in for? So yeah, let's do it. That smug Yuka face. Medicine's ridiculously cute though, I've just gotta say. Miss Zoo's poison's gonna get you all at once. Yep, so, boss time with Yuka and Medicine. It's an interesting enough fight that's really nowhere near as hard as most of the other ones we've fought recently, but it does have its own pitfalls to watch out for. So, the reason we have the Serpent Barrier is because of Medicine, really. Medicine's poison is very nasty, and you really don't want to get hit by that, but she has other stuff which is more important, I think, to resist first. So the res buff is definitely coming out. We're going to element for lightning, and let's just start with basic stuff here. Stardust and Spring. Actually, Active Elemental would be better. We don't want to use Heaven Crack just yet because Serpent Barrier is a field spell, so this might not actually get used at all because it's a field spell in its own right. Active Elemental is not, however, so Electric can get used on top of that, and it's fine. So yeah, Yuka is weak to Lightning, and neither of them are... Oh, that might actually hit the poison. Nope, okay. Neither of them are weak to anything else though. Like, there is a resistance to Earth, obviously, but beyond that they really aren't weak or resistant to anything. Notori took a bit of a pounding in that round, and I really should heal her, I guess. That's definitely something I'm considering here. I may as well just heal the whole party, to be honest. Medicine herself doesn't do a whole lot of damage outside of her poison and some debuffs, however, so once you have resisted poison, you're really not in too much trouble from her. Yuka, on the other hand, as you could see there, does quite a bit of damage, so we do need to take care of her a little bit here. And let's just bust out Stardust Reverie as well, and Sophie Horn may as well. Just go for the large tower stuff here. So even though she doesn't take a whole lot of damage from Lightning, Medicine still takes a decent bit. Also, that double cast. If you double cast a bomb skill, it doesn't take the bomb up, it just takes the MP up again. So Marissa only uses one bomb there to get 2 bombs out. And Yuka does actually have a shield as well. That's, ouch! That is something I wasn't too aware of there. Sanai took way too much of a beating that last turn, so she's gonna have to heal herself here as well. Which is unfortunate, because I do want to get other buffs off, but whatever. We'll just bust out the power hits on Yuka here. Because again, once Yuka goes down, this fight becomes a lot easier. So just take her out as quick as you can, and everything else goes away. I believe my second tier sword actually does have a Slayer against Yuka at the moment, which is why the screen is flashing yellow instead of... Ouch! Wow, get wrecked, Notori. Which is why the screen is flashing yellow instead of red for the critical hits here. So this is Yomu's second tier sword, and it has the Slayer against Yokai, which is what Yuka is classed as. So good stuff there. So I may as well... I don't actually need to use this. I'm considering using it anyway though, just to show it off, but I think I'll just use Slash at the present here. So since Notori went down, let's raise magic attack. We'll use Stardust Reverie, take out Yuka, and go from there. If you have Master Spark equipped, you can use Master Spark to go after Medicine when you're done with Yuka. That would do more damage overall, but you can still just go ahead and use all your strong stuff against Medicine without too much issue. And there is the critical hit, 900 damage, pretty good. And yeah, even without Serpent Barrier, your resistance is, one res buff is usually enough, but on that sort of off chance that it isn't, we'll put Serpent Barrier up next turn, I think. So now we just hit with the hard, the tough stuff here. And yeah, Youmu can double cast. If she gets a crit, you see it does like 3 times the damage almost. So you definitely want to be getting critical hits where possible. And there's that poison. 75 damage that poison does. That's gonna make surviving with Youmu a fair bit more difficult here, but Medicine won't take too many more turns to go down, so yeah, a res buff is not always enough. It's usually enough, but on those chances that it's not, you may want to have something else up your sleeve as well. But that critical hit doing 1200 damage there is very significant, and honestly this should be over in a couple of turns, so that poison won't really kill me here. So Master Spark does a reasonable amount of damage, and next turn it is over. So that is that. Didn't actually need the Serpent Barrier in the end because I prioritized the other skill. The reason I prioritized getting up the resistance buff is because in my one practice run of this, Medicine cast a skill called Into Delirium first, which is a multi-target skill that casts, I believe it's gassy poison or something is the thing it puts on you, but basically it's a debuff that lowers your accuracy, your speed, and your evasion, I want to say. But the fact that it lowers your accuracy means that it removes the Manyussa stance from Youmu. So I needed to get resistance to that first, because I put the poison barrier up last time and it did nothing for me really, because I didn't end up being resistant to Into Delirium, and it took a while for me to actually get that sorted out, so yeah. Anyway, we get some level ups for everyone. We do get a new skill for Patchouli, the Ice Falchion, or Falchion? I would say Falchion myself, but yeah, we get that, which is a single target ice move, pretty nice, and even Aya gets a level up too, so yeah. Yep, they have been defeated, and of course we win. So, yep, that is indeed the pain of an exterminated yokai. Not necessarily a good thing. But yeah, Yuka had fun, so that was that. Yeah, we are not the culprits here, so yeah. Right, what's the deal with the mist then? What have you got for us? One thing cure. True nature of the mist is life. Okay, so it's not death at all. It's stealing life from others, I guess? Maybe? Power of controlling life. Close enough. So yeah, maybe makes things immortal, huh? Now, who do we know in Gensokyo who's immortal? It is indeed pretty dangerous, though. Hey, wait a minute! Marissa's, like, tone of voice in this game is, pretty urban, to say the least. Yeah. Immortal has indeed been to somewhere else before. It is the power of Horai. Yep. So that kinda shows where we're going next, huh? Because, yep, Youmu knows who it is. Couldn't be Kaguya Horizon. Maybe. So, I mean, Erin is a master doctor, basically. So, she could conjure up something like this. But yeah, that is where we are going next. To Ante. And oh boy, let me tell you, this is gonna be a murder on the editing. But yes, nothing has come up on Ante whatsoever so far, so it can only be them. I wouldn't be so sure about that, but yeah, there aren't too many more people that it could be in Gensokyo. When you consider the sort of time frame this game was in, we've already gone through the UFO cast has got nothing to do with it, the SA cast has got nothing to do with it, and we brought half of them along anyway. We've gone through PCB, we've gone through EOSD, we've not gone through Imperishable Night. We've even now gone through Phantasmagoria Flower View, so yeah, Imperishable Night is basically the only ones left. Alright, what's the message then? Okay, sure. We'll do that if we remember. Reimu won't remember, but yeah. Basically, Yuka wants us out, and that is what's going to happen. Yeah. To Ante! So now we get the Sunshine Lunch formation, which is Medicine's form. It's a pretty good formation, so long as you are willing to go last. Sunshine Lunch basically halves your speed, but it it gives you extra defense and evasion, and it also makes you defend better after your actions, which is really annoying. Would be better if it was pre-defend, but then it might be a little bit too good. This was a formation I used for the longest time during my original playthrough. It's not quite as good as I gave it credit for, but it's still pretty good, so yeah, definitely think about it. Every character in this formation has an equal chance of getting hit, I believe, and it is extremely weak to column attacks because you're in a single column, but you're quite far away from the enemies, so that can play into some strengths and whatnot. So with that done, let's see if Aku has anything for us real quick. And yep, she does indeed, because we have defeated Yuka and Medicine. Flower Manipulator and Poison greatly harms the living. Yep. It wasn't really particularly hard, although Notori did cop it, which was not what happened during my practice run, but yeah. We get some more stuff, which is a ruby shield, so that should be an incremental buff to the platinum shield. And we get Sun Eye's armor, Llama robe is Byakuran's, I think. So I don't know why we're getting that just now, but we are. And lucky shoes, that's definitely something we want to make. So let's go ahead and just quickly show these off. They won't take too long to do, and then next time, we have a bit of an issue on our hands. Let's just put it that way. So, what did we get? We got ourselves the Ruby Shield, which is indeed an incremental upgrade to the Platinum Shield. So we'll just go ahead and make that now, because Alice will definitely be using that. And we got the Dark Frog Cloves, which is pretty good against death and removal. That's usually what Sanai gets good protection against. And 2 extra bombs. Very nice if you're using Miracle of Arts and Suri, or if you need to use revives a lot, but do note the MP cost on reviving is pretty steep. So, when you have to use it very often, it's a pretty hefty cost to pay. But yes, nice if you have the stuff for it, and the Llama robe is indeed Byakuran specific, so again, don't quite know why we got it just now, but you can see a little bit about what Byakuran's armor will do. Petrification block I think is specific to this armor, but it gives magic barrier and bombs up. I believe this magic barrier is actually the one that lets you completely evade magic attacks 5% of the time, because of what she gets from her other stuff. Finally, we got Lucky Shoes, which if we had more gold and stuff like that, we could have a plus 3% party experience item. Very, very good item actually, definitely worth making, but I don't have the stuff for it. I already made the Poison Doll's limb with the gold that I got from the cockatrice before, because of complete negation of poison in that fight. Plus the extra poison enhancer is quite nice. This will be a bit after the fact, but I'm actually going to make the poison guard whilst I'm here too, for one specific purpose that I want to do a bit of experimenting on before we go into the next area. Because if I could pull off what I'm thinking of, then that would be really, really cool. I just don't know if it's possible right now with the abilities that I have, but we shall find out, and if we can, it'll be really good. So, yeah. Anyway, this has been GamerCow playing Touhou, the Genius of Sapphires, and next time we start Entei. Oh man, that's gonna be a thing. See you guys next time.